Hello friends, how are you? So in this lecture I'm going to show you how to install Android Studio in your machine. First of all, open a browser and search download Android Studio, and the first link in Google search will redirect you to this page, developer.android.com. It is an official Android website. You'll find every documentation and everything that is needed that is related to Android and which is official by Google. You'll find everything here. So you have to download Android Studio by clicking here. I have already downloaded it. So before installing it, before going to install, uh, let me tell you the configuration of your system and Android Studio relations, right? If you want to run Android Studio quite efficiently, your system need to have minimum of 8 GB of RAM, right? And if you are a student and don't have 8 GB of RAM, you probably would have 4 GB of RAM. You should not uh, uh, as a matter of fact, you don't need to pay you don't need to spend money on another 4 GB of RAM. So in short, if you have 4 GB of RAM and if you don't have money to extend the RAM, you don't need to. As far as you are learning Android Studio, you don't need that much of a RAM, right? After you finish your learning, you can uh, spend money on extra RAM, right? I have learned Android development on 4 GB of RAM myself, and later I installed 8 GB of RAM in my laptop. So if you don't have 8 GB, that's alright. After finish learning, you can install it. You don't need it immediately. Alright, so let's get started with the installation process. Open this and let me close it. Run. Okay, this is just a simple installation process. Just keep going next. Android virtual device. This will install emulator settings on your emulator files on your machine, with the help of which you will be able to run your Android application on your computer itself. You won't need the external device to be connected with USB cable, right? So yes, I want that. Give the specific location. I'm gonna install it. I have already a separate folder for it, Android, and I'm gonna name Android Studio, right? Next, we will install everything, and if you want to create shortcut, click on it. Otherwise you don't need to. Install and let it install. I'll meet you at the end of it. Alright, so installation has completed. So click on next and start Android Studio. It will take some time to start. Okay, so wait for it. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, it has started. The difference in my installation process and yours is you will be asked to download SDKs. Alright, I have already downloaded SDK folder, and that is why I was not asked. You see, I have already a folder named SDKs, so I was not asked to download SDK. If you are asked, just download, and let me show you how SDK manager. Right, these are the SDKs I have downloaded already, right? So make sure you download at least from 19 to above. If you want download 18 or below, it will be okay, because the API below 19 are pretty much outdated versions of Android, right? So most of the device will cover from KitKat to the latest Q, right? So make sure you download uh, from 19 to above everything, right? If you will download, let me give you a tip, right? You'll need to provide a path somewhere to install SDK. So for example, I have given this path in C drive, Android folder, and SDK. So you can name whatever you want instead of SDK, right? So in that folder you will see this kind of folders. So what I suggest is that if you have downloaded certain amount of SDKs, make a zip folder of this folder and store it somewhere in your computer for future references. So if you will uninstall Android Studio, if you format your PC, sometimes you still have that zip file, so you won't have to download SDKs again. You just have to unzip that and give a path inside Android Studio, right? So there is a small tip. So let's see how you can start a new project. Ignore this. It is the project that I'm working on right now. So click on start, and these are some basic activities. It will create the code, or automatically create the code for you if you select an activity, right? So for now we'll select empty activity, click next. Name your project. I'm going to name it demo, and I'm going to store this inside let me see, inside, where is okay, let me select a random folder here, right, wherever. And the package name, you should not be worried about if you are not a big company. Otherwise your company will tell you to change the package name accordingly, right? So the name is demo, and minimum API level would be 19. I don't want, so you can see here your app will run on approximately 98.1% of device, right? If you don't have 18, 17, 16 or below, still your application will run on 98.1% of the device all over the world, right? So you don't have to worry about that. If you still want, make you can download further APIs, right? SDKs, sorry, I'm confused a bit. So selecting 16, you can see it will now run on 99.8% of the device. So finish, and it will create a project for you. This process will take a little time, so I'll meet you at the end of this process. Okay, so every single process is done now, and let me warn you, do not do anything in between any process. If Gradle process is running, or if any process is running, you will see a running process is down here, right? If you see any process running, do not code further, let the process finish itself first, right? So let me introduce you with the software itself. So here you can see all the files in the project we have. Okay, there are two types of files. One is XML files and two is Java. Second is Java file. In XML files, you can see here split, and you can see it's an XML file. What happens here, whatever you design, whatever you see on an application, you design that with XML, right? And you can see the preview right here. Let me just make it more clear. Okay, it has hang. I don't know why. Okay, so show system UI and you will see uh, the view exactly as your phone here, right? So whatever you design here, you will see the preview right here. Okay, and you can do drop and drag and drop from clicking on design, and you can add whatever you want, right? Right here, but I do not prefer this kind of coding. I will always give advice to use XML files to code your stuff, right? So, and in Java files, what happens, whatever you design here, you have to do something with them, right? So you have to program them, and that programming happens here in Java classes, right? And come here now, make sure in Java folder you have 3 folders. These two we will not use at any time during this course or anytime during development process. What we want is just this first folder, right? These two are for testing purposes. So we create new files, so we create that new file in this folder itself, right? And come here to resource folder. In drawable folder, you want to use images in your application, you copy those images in this drawable folder, right? In layout folder, whatever screen you design lies comes under this folder. In mipmap, the smaller images you want to use, you can copy those smaller images inside mipmap. In values, there are 3 more files. Colors, from here you can define the colors in hex code, right? What kind of color are there, where they are used? So when you see these two colors, right, they are defined already in color file. If you want to change it, let me change it. Okay, it will be changed here. And in strings, you define strings that you will use in your project, right? In styles, you will define the app theme inside this. You define different kind of styles inside this file. So do not get confused. If you don't understand, you will understand everything once you start to do coding, and once we will start learning this everything, right? And one another important thing, how to run your application. You can see I have HMD Global Nokia device connected. My phone has connected to the laptop. That's why it is showing me here. You will not be able to see anything here, right? So if you want to run, you can connect your phone via data cable, or you can do one more thing. You can go to AVD manager and create an emulator. I've already created one. How you can create, just go click on create virtual device, and you select the resolution you want right here. Then you select the OS you want, you'll have to download it. Then you have to give the name and click on finish, right? And yes, you can also create it for landscape as well. So that's how you create an emulator. And after creating, it will list down here, and you can click this green button and the emulator will be start. You can see starting AVD. Every process Gradle process and everything will be shown under here. Another thing that I want to show until it's getting started, this file build.gradle module app, you have to give minimum SDK version and target SDK version. Minimum SDK version we have already selected when you were creating the new project, right? And the target version is the version that you want to target that device. Suppose my Nokia has an Android Q running on it, so I'll target SDK version API 29 because Android Q has the API level of 29. So accordingly you can set the target version. And in dependencies, every third-party libraries or any kind of library we will use in our project will define those libraries here, right, in dependencies. So this is one important file you have to keep in mind. So once the emulator is started, it will be shown like this, and you will see an option under this list, right? Whatever the name you have given, it will be listed under here. And then clicking this button, run app, you will be able to run your project in the emulator. It will take some time. I'll see you at the end of this process. Okay, the process is finished and our application is installed in an emulator and it is open, as you can see it, right? So another important file that I want to show you is the manifest file. Whatever the activities that you make, you'll have to declare those activities inside this manifest file, right? Then you'll have to give certain permission inside application, like if your application uses internet, you have to give permission of the internet. You give that permission right here by, for example, use this permission name internet permission, right? You give all those permission in this file and you declare array activities in this file. So it is a very much important file in Android as well. So I think this is it for this video. From the next video we'll start learning and developing Android application, and so I'll see you in the next video.